Hi guys, we are on the Skyliner. I don't think we're breaking any rules by having our mask down because they're giving you cabins all by yourself and so you're like enclosed. Nobody can possibly get near us right now and the little windows are open.
The entire Walt Disney World Resort is over 40 square miles.
Did you know?
That's about the same size as the city of San Francisco.
Wow.
And double the island of Manhattan.
Okay, so we checked in we dropped our bags off at the Riviera where we're staying. We're gonna do a hotel room tour. Loving it so far, absolutely loving it. So we're in Disney World right now when we're about to have a hurricane in a pandemic. So things are going really well.
Yes, so I don't know if I've lost track. It's been a hurricane and it's been a tropical storm. But Isaias is coming later today, but it is already cloudy and drizzly.
So we broke our own rule and we are bringing a backpack today with ponchos. I don't know if I said we're going to Hollywood Studios. Really excited to ride Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Far more excited than the Star Wars ride, but we are going to try. That's his Star Wars shirt.
Yes, and we're 12 minutes away from when the virtual queue opens up, so we're going to experience that momentarily. Oh, look, there's no cars.
It is 9:48. Okay.
Here, you can show the parking lot.
So a couple of things.
Before you walk the red carpet, remember to double check.
So a couple of things I wanted to mention about masks. There's more kids than I expected so far. We've only been to our hotel and then Caribbean Beach.
What does that have to do with masks?
When we arrive.
Oh, because you didn't think kids were going to be here because they would
be able to. Yeah, I didn't think parents would bring small children with mask requirements in July and August. More than I expected. It's still hard to tell because we were just like at the hotels primarily. Do you think the masks are? I mean, I wear a mask whenever I'm at work, like all day, every day. I understand why people think it's harder to breathe. I get all that. Is it hotter wearing a mask? I don't think so because it's hot. It's hot no matter what. You're hot if you're wearing a mask. You're hot if you're not.
Well, there's definitely a sense of relief when you take your mask off, I think.
It's not as big as I would have expected.
No, I've trained myself now to keep my mask on as much as possible.
Ladies and gentlemen,
just I don't know.
Welcome to Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Thank you.
Is our final
yeah, I don't know. I feel like we have to kind of treat it like it's another piece of clothing, just like you're like, you know, you wear a shirt and shorts, you now also wear a mask. And you got used to wewearing clothes, didn't you?
Like, would it be better if you took your shirt off? Yeah, but like, I mean, you have to wear it. And
same concept.
Like I said, I mentioned this before, I have an extreme heat intolerance. So far, I've been okay. And we've been in Florida for a couple of days before this, so I have been wearing it out in the 100-degree heat. It's not as terrible as I would have expected. But we're getting off the Skyliner now, putting our masks back on.
See you soon.
We need to get a more fun mask because some people have some fun Disney ones and we did not get a chance to get a cool Disney one. So we'll see if we can find one.
Where we are. These are the steps there, or the spots that they tell you to wait. We just got in the park. No finger thingy. We'll wait here. And what was I going to say? Oh, yes. So, Isaias is a hurricane that's, as Sophia Petrilla put it, coming up the road a piece.
Yep, you want to.
Here, let's flip. And so I was wearing my poncho. People cutting in line. Wearing the poncho. I have to say, the poncho is so much hotter than the mask. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like solid plastic, obviously. So, we just got here, and the line for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was 120 minutes. We've heard that the lines seem to be...
They're overestimating wait times. According to Adam the Woo, who was just here.
Right.
He said, normally he felt like
Follow
whatever
his
the
YouTube
wait
channel.
time
He's
said.
super fun.
He's awesome. He said whatever the wait time is, it seemed to be half of that.
And if you want to be friends with us, Adam, we will accept your friendship.
Yes.
What else was I going to say? Yes, Star Wars.
Star Wars. Oh, yeah. So we just did the virtual queue. It just turned to 10 o'clock. I joined the virtual...
We're in the My Disney Experience app. at like before, a couple minutes beforehand.
Yep. And so as soon as it turned 10 o'clock, I clicked on join virtual queue.
Where did you have to go first though to get to the virtual queue?
You click on the little hamburger menu, you know what I mean? The one with
The
the
three
like,
lines.
lines, and then you go to virtual queues, and then you can join the virtual queue. It was super easy. It's just like when you used to pick fast passes. So you click on join virtual queue, you select the people in the party who are going to join, and then you say okay, and then it says okay, you're in boarding group, we're 20, boarding group 20, which is approximately 120 minutes from now, and you'll get a notification when it's your turn, and then you have to come within an hour.
And that is for Rise of the Resistance.
Right.
We've never done it before. So
Right.
this is exciting. We're going to do Minnie's Runaway Railway, which we've never done before, in a
Rise of the
hurricane,
Resistance.
in
Yeah.
a pandemic.
Lots
It'll
of
be
new
great.
experiences today, but to be able to do 2 new rides that we've never
That's
done
exciting.
before in one day, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna do Runaway Railway a couple times today. I want to.
We'll see what the wait is. We'll see what the wait is.
We'll see what the wait is.
Because this is our only Hollywood Studios day.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is the longest the wait is gonna be because the park just opened and everybody comes straight here.
And especially if people, as the weather is going to get worse, people
Yeah.
are going to leave.
I agree.
My ear looks like it's
I
all
think
like
we have a
wrinkled.
good.
It's not.
I think one positive thing about today is that things have conspired to keep the lines as short as possible between a pandemic and a tropical storm or hurricane, whatever this is.
Isaias.
Isaias.
I keep wanting to call it Isaias.
That's what I thought it was when I first saw it written out, but it's pronounced Isaias.
Oh, and let's show this. These marks on the ground. It appears as though it's 6 feet from that mark to that mark and that mark to that mark. However, like the group in front of you has 4 people. If you stand here, you're way closer than, like, okay, so I'm supposed to wait here. That's what, 3 feet? Like, I don't get it. I mean, we're all wearing masks and we're outside, so I'm sure it's fine. But like, that just kind of surprised me. And then some of them, like around corners, are way bigger. Like that one is.
Yeah. And
More
one
than
thing
6
I will
feet.
say about this whole scenario is
This is the first time since March where I've gone out in public and felt that like everybody was being safe.
Yeah.
Because you have to here, you have to follow the rules, and nobody wants to get thrown out of the parks after they paid big money for it.
Right. So we
Here.
were in, like I said, before we came here, we were in Florida for a couple of days. Like I mentioned before, we were supposed to be in Japan right now for the Olympics, but that got postponed. So my husband decided we would come to Disney, and he twisted my arm. I reluctantly.
it was a really tough sell.
I was reluctant, but I said fine, if we absolutely have to. So we came here, and we're like, hey, we don't ever do like beach things, and almost never when we come to Disney. We've never done a beach thing before.
Right.
Like we've been to Miami Beach before, but that wasn't as part of a Disney trip. So he like took care of the beach side of things, and we did Clearwater, with the thought being, if you're on a beach like and you're at a hotel, like you're like a private hotel beach, so there'll be fewer people. You're outside, you can spread out, and we thought it would be okay. It did not really go as planned. In order to be on the beach at all and feel even remotely safe, because nobody was wearing masks, even if they were just like, not only were people not wearing masks, they were not social distancing. They were like,
No, it
the
looked
beaches
like,
were pretty crowded.
right. The people
So
were acting like nothing is different.
with my medical background, I did not feel comfortable in that. So we got up really early to like walk the beach in the morning, so that we could actually go on the beach at all before anybody else was out there. So that worked out fine. And we had masks with us and just pulled them down when nobody was around. But then during the day, we would like stay by the pool and then make sure like nobody was in the chairs surrounding us, and that was fine. But like walking down the street and stuff, most people weren't wearing masks. They would come pretty close to you. And I know like the risk is lower if you're outside, but that doesn't mean you can still like pack in and be breathing and coughing on anybody. So I was kind of disappointed with that, with Florida being like as bad as they are. I would have thought, I mean, because like the hotels had mask requirements and stuff like that, but they weren't enforcing them. So we were expecting Disney to be much better, and it is.
It's infinitely better.
I saw there must have been one person who had their mask below their nose, like that, and a cast member said you have to pull your mask up. That was the only time that I saw anything like that, though. So yeah, so at Disney so far, I'm feeling infinitely safer. Oh, here's somebody walking around and eating. That's not allowed. That's going to be that's going to be banished.
Safer than, I definitely feel, like I said, I feel safer right now than I have in any public place since the pandemic started, like the grocery store and things like that. There's always people who are pretending like this doesn't exist.
Keep in mind, I guess we should specify that in Wisconsin, we have not had any mask requirement, like universal masking requirements in any stores, anything like that. So
until apparently yesterday.
Right. And then
our governor finally issued one, and now the Republican legislature is on the warpath to have it revoked.
We
already.
are trying to keep this as apolitical as possible. He's not doing well with that, but I mean,
the problem is
he speaks the truth.
Yes, the pandemic shouldn't be political, but it is. So you can't talk about the pandemic without politics.
It's difficult. It's difficult, but that's why I'm trying to focus on CDC guidelines.
Got some more tropical rains here. Do you want your poncho back?
Not right now. I'll let you know. But yeah, so we're just waiting in line now, and we will update you when we're doing something more exciting.
Yeah, very excited to go on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway for the first time.
It doesn't have the same effect when you have the mask. Okay, bye.
You smile with your eyes very well.
We are now inside the theater. You can see, here, I'll flip you around. We have not been in here since it was,
Hand sanitizer.
Can you hold that so I can sanitize?
Yep.
They're amply available. It's kind of frustrating. So like, show the empty lines here. So we're outside, right? And it's kind of frustrating because you're outside, not in air conditioning, and you're in the rain, and it's like, why can't they use this space? I get it's safer outside, so I'm assuming that's why, because it's safer outside. The other thing that I just thought of in terms of like, so it's 6 feet from there to here, but like that person is not going to be 6 feet away from me if they have more than 2 people in their party. But I think it has to do with the fact that you should be facing the same direction. Like typically you're not like completely turned around like that. So I'm not sure.
Oh, now the line is short enough that people are just coming in this.
Were they in the line where they need like special help?
Oh,
Like
maybe.
I'm guessing one of them probably was in a wheelchair or something like that, or like can't stand for a long time.
So one thing we've learned about these lines with social distancing that's very gratifying is that when you move,
You move a lot.
You move a lot. So like you really feel like you're making progress the entire time.
Look at, so there's
Yeah, there's no space.
and then there's not one till
Or there's no spot. I don't get
I
it.
don't know if it's like, did it come off?
I wonder if it's because you stand here.
Oh, all that, yeah. 'Cause it's
Yeah. Mickey Mouse in Once Upon a Coin.
If you guys haven't watched these Mickey cartoons, watch them. They're great.
Yeah,
They're
the new
super
style
funny.
Mickey cartoons.
Yeah, we were watching them one time when we stayed club level in Wilderness Lodge. Due to distance space, we had to sit in so we were in the club level lounge. We had to sit in the children's area due to space. There was one kid in there. They always have these cartoons playing. We were laughing so hard. The little boy in there, how old was he? Maybe like 8. There's a lot of humor in it that I think like really little kids don't get. And he was like looking at us like we were crazy. We were laughing harder than he was. Like we were enjoying it. He was laughing at us laughing.
So what's cool about this ride is that it's the new style Mickey cartoon, but you're like inside the cartoon. That's the premise.
So I saw somebody complain online that like they dislike the new style of cartoon.
I disagree. It's awesome.
Right. So it does take a smidgen to get used to. It's different. You know what I mean in terms of like the. Like at first I'm like it just looks like they did a bad job drawing the characters, but then when you kind of understand, oh, that's the style. They're funny though. They actually are very funny. Watch Flipper and Bubatosis is like our favorite, or one of our favorites. The one with, I don't know what it is, with the Alps, where Minnie is on the top of the Alps, and Mickey's yodeling in the Yeti. This one, no.
No.
But that's a good one. What are some other ones? Oh, Minnie, the streetcar in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
That's a good one. Yeah, they have a lot of good ones. So you can check them out. How did you find them online?
They're on Hulu.
Oh.
And if you have Disney Plus, I
And
imagine they're on
search,
that.
What do you search for?
Mickey Mouse.
So there you go. Search on Hulu.
I'm sure they're on Disney Plus too. We don't subscribe to Disney Plus, believe it or not, but
There's also one with Mickey in the Garden. That one's really good too.
Perfect.
Does it mow his lawn?
yeah, Perfect Picnic is the one that we're going to be inside of for this ride.
Okay, we gotta go. We're about to get on.
It's so pretty in here. It's impressive.
Yes, this is the line. The middle lane is for walking only, no stopping. They specified that right here. I think because they don't want you standing next to the people in this line. They don't want you standing next to the people in that line. That is very well thought out, I have to say. Yeah, we had a lot of memories on this ride. I'm like showing nothing. I guess I'm showing your shirt. Here, I'll turn it over. One other thing. I have a lot of memories on this ride. You did not so much. How many times have you been on?
On the Great Movie Ride?
Yeah.
Enough.
Okay,
Probably
once
like-
is enough.
No,
But like,
I was probably like a dozen.
really?
Sure.
Nuh-uh.
Sure.
We did not do it multiple times per trip, and some trips we skipped it, and you have not even been here that many times.
More than 5.
I think it might just feel that way because it's like if you get like, it's like getting a root canal. If you get one, it feels like
I mean, every time we came to Hollywood Studios, we did it once.
it needed to go, but like literally nobody watched any of those movies anymore. But
And some of them are racist.
minor detail. I'm kidding. It is terrible. But
We gotta go.
oh, we have to go. Right in the center of the room.
So, turn that off.
This reminds me of Mr. Tone's Wild Ride. Yes, plexiglass between the lanes. Again, I'll flip it around.
For your safety aboard
So
the train,
we've discussed this on the channel before, but I have no idea if you can hear me.
always remain seated and be sure to keep a watchful eye on your little ones. Okie dokie.
So one thing that was a little bit of a bummer due to COVID.
Hang on, I'm gonna get into that. So we talked about this on the channel that I don't want to watch rides before. I just watched what like Disney put out before with like artist renderings and things. He did watch it,
I did watch it.
so
I
he
know-
knows what the difference
So I
is.
know that like when you first enter into that theater, they play the cartoon and then there's an explosion and then you walk through the screen to get to where we are now. Well, they didn't play the cartoon and the hole was already in the screen, so we just walked right in. Which it's too bad, but that'll be something to look forward to is actually seeing that cartoon once COVID is done.
He's actually very bummed about it.
Well, it's the whole premise of the story. Like you walk into the cartoon where it left off on the cartoon. So, you know, you don't really get that effect.
Well, howdy everybody. It's me, employee.
I'm sure we'll pull through.
Yeah, first world problem.
Express at Universal, like how they did the lights.
Yeah. Here's our train.
For the purpose of safety, this could easily hold like, I don't know, 6, 8 people.
Yep, and it's just us. All right.
You should have been in the back. I never
ahead.
said I wanted to share with you.
All right.
Pull down on the left bar. Okay, we'll see if I can unobtrusively film. I think it should be okay because there's nobody behind me. Look at the sun! So I'm not really looking at what I'm filming because I want to enjoy the ride, but hopefully you can get something. Cool water! Look at the water!
Yeah.
Testing. This thing on. Can you all hear me way back in the back? Welcome aboard, folks. We're ready for a relaxing ride around the park. Hiya, folks. Hello there. How you doing? Hey, Mick and Minnie. Sure to take good care of our friends. The works better with me. What could possibly go wrong? Oh no! I must have hit that track switch.
Oh, he hit the track switch.
shy. That's right. Everyone to your positions. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, excellent.
Oh,
You're
I
all
can't catch it. It
so
says the Nutcracker.
together. Oh.
We're dancing.
Now, let's
Look at our Mickey heads. That was less nauseating than I'm sure it appeared.
Well, that concludes my guided tour. Hope you had a relaxing ride around the park, and thanks for sticking with me. Hey, picnickers! Told you nothing was gonna go wrong.
Nothing can stop us now. I'm so high.
There's a little squirrel. Squirrel up there. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, it's a bird.
Gosh, what's this lever do? Well, here we are, back in the barn. Remember to gather.
Okay, what do you think?
I loved it.
I did too. Loved
Seeing
it.
it on
Hand
YouTube
sanitizer.
does not compare to seeing it in person.
No, it was, I mean, it's loud. That, if I had any complaint, it was that it was loud. The cars move individually and they're kind of herky-jerky, similar to Ratatouille. If you've been in that in like Disneyland Paris, it's coming. I am gonna have to take Dramamine before I ride that ride. I had no motion sickness issues here because Ratatouille, you use 3D glasses, and that's really where the difference is. There's a little bit of motion sickness when they're going down the waterfall, but no, it was like a second, no
What's
problem.
What's super
Can you
cool?
hold this?
Yeah. What I think is super cool about it is, like, I'm a sucker for 3D projections, and that entire ride is like 3D projected, and like they can do really cool things with it. Like the factory changed into a park.
Now what? Toy Story Land?
Sure.
We're going this way?
That would be the other way.
We're going this way?
Yep. We probably have to go around this
I've
way.
literally never gone through this direction. I guess I was like just really hoping.
All right.
So it obviously cleared up quite a bit. Now they said with the hurricane/tropical storm, it's going to be coming in bands. It's actually supposed to be staying off the coast, and the coast is how far is the coast from here? An hour?
Probably something like that. Well, we came from Tampa this morning, and it was like
That's like 2 hours.
2
almost
hours, and Orlando's kind of like right in between. So
between an hour and a half and 2 hours.
yeah,
On the other coast.
We're
But yeah.
supposed to. We're under a tropical storm warning, so I guess it means it's possible we get tropical storm conditions. But the local weather said like it's not really going to be
That bad.
They even said today likely won't be a washout.
They actually did move. He was reading. I don't have any clients camping right now, but he did read that those that are camping in tents are being moved tonight and possibly tomorrow night, or was it last night midnight? I can't remember. So that you're not possibly in a hurricane in a tent. But yeah, they said it's going to come in bands, and if the bands are, I mean, I imagine it's going to get worse than it was before because it isn't here yet. But it's due to hit at what, 2 p.m. Did we say today?
The worst of it is supposed to be between 2 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's really very, very slow moving. So they said it's going to take like 12 hours to get through. But hopefully it'll clear some people out of the parks, and we have our ponchos, and hopefully that'll be good enough, and we'll still be able to enjoy some stuff. Also, hopefully we'll get to, I'm trying to get around here. Let's go this way. We'll get to do Slinky Dog Dash before, when it's nice and dry and it's running, because I don't know if it's going to run. Typically it will run if it's raining slightly.
I just think it doesn't run in lightning.
Right. I'm not sure if it runs during hurricanes. I guess we'll find out. But now we're headed to Toy Story Land, so we'll see what we're gonna do there. If we're gonna do Slinky Dog Dash or Toy Story Mania. Those are the two we typically do there. We don't really do Aliens Furling Saucers. I mean, we've done it before, but it's definitely not a must-do.
No. The end?
And scene. So we just got our boarding group called for
Rise of the Resistance.
Rise of the Resistance. It's been down for a while. They scan your magic band to make sure you have your boarding group. And now their boarding groups, I think, what, 19 and 20? Or
15 through 20.
No, was it really?
Yeah. I think they're trying to catch up because of the dog.
Yeah, they were down for, what, an hour?
Yeah, at least.
So now this is where we await. So we got, let me flip this around. So we, at 10, we got our boarding group and we were assigned 20. And then what did we do? We went on Minnie's Runaway Railway. Great. Slinky Dog Dash, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to do it because the weather has been on and off raining. But we got on it, that was fine. Then what did we do after that? We ate.
And then we went on Toy Story
Mania. I won. I got Cat, he got Beaver. I won by what, 40,000 points?
Something like that. You always win.
I do, and I'm a super sore winner. And then we just did the what is it called? It's the Mickey Mouse short.
Vacation fun.
Yes, it's like 10 minutes sitting in a theater. Highly recommend it. We think the cartoons are hilarious, as we mentioned, but we don't care about that right now. So I'm going to show you what we're seeing. How have you felt so far about the hand sanitizers and stuff? I was thinking we don't. I haven't had any that were run out. There's been adequate hand sanitizing.
Yes.
I haven't had a bathroom where I had no soap.
No, I'm completely impressed with all the COVID-related stuff.
Yep. And I was a little disappointed when we ate with how many tables there were, but half of them were blocked off. It said you can't sit here. And they have somebody, as soon as you get up, they have somebody come and clean your table with a disinfectant and everything.
Yeah. And that was a big deal for us. It's the first time since
we've eaten indoors.
March that we've eaten a meal indoors, not in a public place.
Yeah.
Not in our house.
Right.
Here's another place that added plexiglass.
Yes.
I'm sure this wasn't here before.
Yeah, so if you can't be 6 feet apart and when you have parallel lines like this, they put plexiglass in between. At least when you're indoors.
It seems like they'll either put plexiglass on the switchbacks or they'll put the lines on the floor so that you have to stop and then walk straight through.
Like a zipper.
Which is what this is right here. So just like this. So you have to stop here.
And then you don't go till there, and then you walk through to that spot. And then in the theater, there were spots marked off as well. You'd have 2 or 3 seats, and then 3 empty that said you can't sit there.
Yep.
And we will wait here.
I'm very impressed with the safety stuff. And it's not it doesn't ruin the experience for me at all. In fact, I really like
the extra space, and that's something we heard people say online and in videos ahead of time is everybody's like, oh my gosh, the space is amazing, especially when it's hot. You don't need to be crowded in and crammed in. It's hot enough without it.
I don't know if you'll agree with this. I also kind of like the freedom of not having fast passes. The fact that we even had to do this virtual queue. We had to schedule this, but everything else we'd do whatever.
Yeah.
The virtual queue kind of was inconvenient.
Well, especially since it went down.
Right.
The ride was completely down. So they expected us to get in 2 hours they said approximate wait time would have been 120 minutes. We got it at 10, and we got our boarding group at about 1:20, I would say.
So it was about 3 hours and 20 minutes?
Yep. And overall, I would say people have been very good about watching the marks on the floor. I've just seen a couple of people who had their masks below their noses that a cast member hadn't seen. We saw one person eating in line and had his mask down, and that was kind of rude, I thought.
But literally that's it. The compliance with the safety stuff is
right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
It's very cave-like.
it's crazy how much work probably went into making this and then to make it look not nice.
Right.
What I can't, I mean, I have mentioned it several times on my channel, I just cannot, here, let's turn this on. As a non-Star Wars person, I cannot understand why it's supposed to be futuristic, yet everything is crappy. Like, that's terrible planning. I don't know, who's responsible for designing droids in the Millennium Falcon and
George Lucas.
okay, well, George Lucas needs to get it together because this stuff is supposed to be futuristic, but it's all like
It's like a dystopian future. Well, the Resistance stuff looks futuristic, like the stormtroopers and stuff that we're about to see.
we saw Chewbacca. He was not on the ground with people. He was like standing up top and waving. We saw a little parade that was fun, just driving by. So nothing that it was good entertainment, but nothing that people would congregate for. You would like watch a couple things go by. That was
Wave and maybe take a quick picture.
Yep, there was Mickey and Minnie each in their own cars, and then there was like a Pluto, and some fun music. The cars were cool. They were designed after the shorts, the cartoons.
None of that entertainment is announced so that people don't.
Right, so you don't plan for it. But definitely not lacking in entertainment, I would say.
Honestly, the biggest,
Dining and shopping. There's
dining and shopping have been the biggest things that have affected
Get behind
us.
the line.
Sorry, that have affected us so far. Because a lot of the stores are closed and a lot of the dining locations are closed, and they have limited options too. And you have to do more
mind you,
ordering,
our
which is
experience is extremely limited right now because we've been here for a couple hours. Oh, something exciting.
You have to do mobile ordering. Did you mention that?
At certain restaurants,
At counter service
certain quick service restaurants require mobile ordering. They don't all.
Which was a good idea because there was no line for food.
Right, and then when they'll tell you what what window number you can pick your stuff up in.
Yep. Here we have a map of sorts. A Star Wars expert can tell you what this is a map of.
Is this Millennium Falcon?
No.
Is this?
The Millennium Falcon is the spaceship.
I mean, no.
It's a galaxy far, far away. That's
He's
as good of an answer as I can give.
Are you a Trekkie?
I am. I prefer Star Trek.
Okay.
I've seen the
You're
Star
not a
Wars
Trekkie.
movies.
You're
I'm not a Trekkie. I prefer Star
He
Trek.
prefers it to Star Wars.
And I've seen Star Wars movies. Not the most recent one, but I've seen them. And they're whatever.
And
I appreciate this more than the actual movies because this is incredible.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. I actively dislike Star Wars, bordering on detest it.
Yeah.
But I have been very impressed.
No hate in the comments.
So, okay, here's the thing. I work with somebody who's a huge Star Wars nerd, and I have said, like, we've had this conversation before, and I was like,
I'll point this at you.
and I was saying like without, I was trying to be like non-insulting, and I was like talking about the Star Wars Half Marathon and stuff, and people in costume. I'm like, yeah, they're like a really enthusiastic bunch, and you see people like wearing costumes and stuff, like adults, and she goes, oh, they're really weird. Like, and she's like Star Wars fans are complete freaks, and she's one of them. So I feel as though I can say that, in that I did not come up with that, but in a non-insulting manner. Like, I would say I'm a Harry Potter freak. I'd totally be like, Harry Potter race be up there with like my cape and wand. I would totally do it and not be insulted if somebody called me a Harry Potter freak. So if you're a Star Wars freak, know that I'm not being insulted.
Looks like we're coming up on some space weaponry here.
Oh God, space weaponry. We're not using terms like space weaponry today.
Well, first of all, I don't think that's nearly the correct term. I'm sure I just insulted any Star Wars fan as to what this is. They could tell you everything that's in here.
I know. Somebody told me in my video that like my pronunciation was atrocious.
Yes.
But you know what? I could probably pronounce Harry Potter spells much better than
Yes,
them.
we apologize. We're not trying to be offensive.
But the that's acceptable to say, but it's actually AT-AT.
Right. Oh, this is a cool.
I've learned that.
See, this is awesome.
I've learned that Chewbacca is good and Darth Vader is bad.
Even though Chewbacca scared you that one time.
Okay, that was just rude. He was rude, but he's a good guy.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, again, even if we're not huge fans of movies, you can appreciate like just how cool of an
Yeah,
environment
they did a
we're in
really
right
good job.
now.
even if you like, I don't get it in the least.
And in the future, we will stand 6 feet apart.
We have some distancing here. You can flail and not hit anybody.
Yeah,
Kind of nice.
it's just nice in general. This would be a pretty claustrophobic hallway, actually, normally.
If people are really close, yeah. I can see that. I wonder if, I mean, there's a spot here which appears as though maybe is that a fast pass spot or a spot for
That's probably, I wonder.
a mobility issue. You know, if you have guests in wheelchairs that can't stand for a long time, maybe that's where they come
Yeah,
in.
that must be that because they don't really have fast passes ever for this.
But
They have
no,
virtual queue.
No, not normally. But do you think they didn't plan for it like
In advance,
5
like
years down the
some-
road?
yeah,
Like after the hype dies down, they're gonna
That's true.
maybe provide them. I would think they would have at least designed it so they could have it if they wanted to later on.
Yeah. All right, things are coming up. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, so we just had a check with a cast member who scanned our band
the
again.
second. Yeah, that's the second time. So you get in a virtual queue on the phone. And did you have to select through the My Disney Experience app? Did you have to select who in your party was? Okay, so yeah,
Yep.
he got them for both of us.
While you're talking, I'm just gonna look around.
Okay, he got them for both of us. And then when we got a message saying our boarding group is ready, we came and as first guest member we encountered asked, did you get a boarding group? We said yes. They scanned our magic bands, and not just one for your party, like they do typically for extra magic hours when they exist. They scan everybody to make sure that you do in fact have the correct boarding group and it's ready to go. And then,
Logistics.
like they do for fast passes, they scan again later on to make sure nobody like jumps in.
chamber seating.
See, it's like you can't see.
Oh, you can't see
I
her
guess-
on the
no,
corner
I
to
guess
see
we'll
where you're
just
supposed
wait
to stop. This is fine.
But yeah, then we just encountered a second cast member that scanned our bands again to make sure nobody jumped the line. To make sure again that we in fact have a boarding group and it's our turn. So I'm not sure how much longer we are going to be in line here, but we should have chimed it. I don't think it's. I would say
hasn't
we've
been
been in
long.
line for
5
5 minutes so far, but I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Because yeah, once you get your boarding group, you have 60 minutes to.
Yep. Even the ventilation looks futuristic.
Does it? See, I think it looks retro.
Retro future.
Right.
Industrial future. I don't know.
Maybe it's just because they need to clean. No, everything's like dusty. That's kind of nice. Is that supposed to be a seating area?
You can sit there. Here we're in some type of locker room. Spacesuits. Spacesuits.
Yeah, when you go around corners, I've noticed it's really kind of hard to see where the next line is. You think that there's another one and there's not. And then, like, you don't want to go back because the people behind you are already at the next line.
Right.
Typically, when that happens, though, there's a lot of space, so you're still at least 6 feet away.
Requesting logistics team to zone 2 Charlie. Protocols scan display relocation. Recruit traffic.
I don't.
Anything else? How about we end it here?
We'll sign
ride
off.
the thing, and we'll talk about it
maybe
after.
we can get a picture or two, a clip right when we like the loading area and possibly a vehicle. We'll try.
Okay.
Okay, bye. We got out of line and they asked how many people you have, and then they assign you a number. This time we are 5.
There's another one of these maps next to me.
Yes, another map. It is nice and cool. It's like I have cool air blowing on my legs. It's very, very nice. But that's what it looks like. So this is like a pre-staging room, it appears. And this is, yeah, I showed it on the Runaway Railway, how they're having you on numbers. Not sure if this is. Okay, they just ushered us like cattle. Just go in the next room and stand on your same number.
I bet something's gonna happen right here. That's what I bet. That's BB-8.
BB-8.
I knew that.
Prep the ready room for reprints. Commander 9-9, please report back to IGS cockpit.
Incoming transmission from Ray. BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Should we be in flight prep?
Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batu is no longer safe. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pucara. I'll regroup with you there. The Resistance desperately needs your help in our fight against Kylo Ren and the First Order. Remember, it is vital that you keep the location of the Pucara base secret. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you.
Affirmative. Transport is ready. 9-Num and I shall personally see them delivered.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Welcome to the cause. May the Force be with us.
Commander Poe Dameron and a squadron of X-Wings shall escort us to the rendezvous point on Pucara.
Roger, this is Black Leader. I hear you're a fine-looking group of recruits. Well, no time to waste. Let's get you on your way to the General.
Now we're outside. Living on the same number.
Deck is in motion. Recruits
About to board a
transport.
spaceship.
Guys, this looks so cool. They did such a good job.
Affirmative.
The spaceship engines are going. Use hand sanitizer to get on the spaceship.
Oh, and he's refilling.
This is your final That's better. Check the binary motivator. Yes, I just want to be sure. It's possible on board now. Transport is away in 30 seconds. Yes, check the hyperdrive.
There's a lot of shouting.
Transport takeoff in 20 seconds.
Good. Airspeed sensor. Thank you, 9-Num. Black Leader, are you and your team ready? Affirmative. Engines are hot. Red 2, Blue 5, report. Red 2, check.
Blue 5 standing by.
Affirmative. Hyperdrive systems normal. Main reactor. Are you sure? Hang on. Give me a moment. Affirmative. Good. Cabin pressure systems. Repulsor lift generator. Coordinate set.
I thought we were in a hurry. Let's punch it here.
We lost Red 2, more incoming. Blue 5 taking evasive action.
Try to shake him, Blue.
I'm trying.
We lost Blue 5. I'm gonna try to draw him away. Copy that.
All disembark. Proceed to the right for processing at once. Number 2. Number 1. Number 3. Number 6. Number 4. And number 5.
This would be very scary for a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, those are, at least that one is a real person. I think that we are entering yet another room. I don't know. I imagine nobody said anything. We'll go here. So we were sucked in to the we're in the bad spaceship.
Death Star?
Death Star?
I don't know. God
Are we the resistance or are they the resistance?
They're the resistance. Resistance. Or no, we're the resistance.
They're resisting.
They're the first order. They're bad.
Oh yes, Rise of. Okay, yes, First Order, Rise of the Resistance. Guys, this is a lot.
People are going to be so annoyed with us that are watching this.
I tried. I know who BB-8 is. I know who Yoda is.
Don't get us wrong. This is very cool.
The last room was my favorite so far. That was really, really cool.
That's the one that you see like in all the
With the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
See? We're Star Wars nerds.
Yes, totally. You can tell because of my t-shirt.
Right. Actually, we saw somebody else wearing that today.
This looks like Star Trek.
It does. Don't you feel like you should be wearing that thing over your eyes like the Reading Rainbow guy? A lot of, like, when you think you're finally going on, a lot of, like, little shows and other little rooms. It appears as though we have been detained. He's on the phone. This is the next room we go in. Like, so many rooms before boarding. At least we're to the point now where they're giving you the spiel of, like, if your neck is broken and you go on this and then you become paralyzed, it's not our fault. Somebody's eating a gummy bear.
I do too.
A lot of people in that next room yet, though. For them to be mean to you. And that man over there told those children, I have decided that I do not like either of you. They took it very well. I would have cried at that age. And then he said, I hope they don't shoot you, as he told them where to go. Okay, we're approaching boarding.
Now you will pay the resistance prisoners.
You have what I want. You know the location of the secret base, and I will take it from you.
We are needed on the bridge.
Keep the prisoners here. I will return to finish this personally.
You're going to be in this vehicle right over here. Secondary crew, you're going to be in this vehicle right over here. Once you get in this, you have a purple item, go ahead and
We're being rescued. These people are kinder than the last ones.
Yes, they're on our side. They're the resistance.
Okay, take this corridor to the turbo lift, then head down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batuu. Hurry and don't get caught. Lieutenant Beck will guide you.
Recruits, for your safety, stay seated with seatbelts securely fastened. Keep hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the transport and supervise your children. Tell them it's a prisoner transfer. Did it work? Good. Now get a move on. There's a clear path to the turbo lifts at the end of the hallway. Turn right. A probe droid. You're lucky it didn't spot you. Take those turbo lifts and stay out of trouble.
Hey, you're not authorized. Wait, those are the prisoners.
Your cover is blown. Find an alternate route. Who picked these two droids anyway?
Attention to a breach. There they are! Fire!
The escape pods just follow us. Take the lift now. Go, puppy. Hurry! No, not up! I said down! This does not look good. Try to find another way down to the escape pods.
The Resistance will attempt to rescue the prisoners.
They have neither the resources nor the courage to engage us.
You underestimate their conviction. Raise the shields!
Shields? I see no evidence.
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Stop! The prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Abandon ship! I repeat, abandon ship! The destroyer's about!
There's no escape. You will tell me the location of the secret base, and then I will destroy you and the Resistance.
Okay, you're clear.
Your escape pods came in a little off target. Ground crews will meet you outside the wreck.
All right, nice job, recruits. Not what you signed on for, but hey, you're Resistance now. I think I have that authority. Right, Beck? Where's the lieutenant? I need eyes on Beck. Rhino, scan for his pod beacon. Lieutenant Beck here. Beck! You're live.
All right, first impression.
They did a good job.
I thought that was a super impressive ride, like technologically.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree.
Like way above and beyond probably any other ride. Let's go stand by the spaceship here.
I think in terms of, so like, you have this and then you have, stand by.
Millennium Falcon.
Avatar.
Oh.
If you are going to do a ride that you are, like, you know, I'm not really into Avatar, I'm not really into Star Wars, definitely do Avatar. Like, if you're, you know, just picking one, I would say definitely do Flight of Passage ahead of this. That is easier to understand if you've, like, not seen it, I think. You can still appreciate the technology of this ride, and it is cool, and it is kind of fun. But if you don't know, like, okay, is this a good guy, is this a bad guy, I don't really know what's going on.
Oh, I could follow. I felt like,
yeah, but you've seen the movies.
Even then, like, it was
haven't.
like, we're getting on a spaceship, the spaceship got captured, we ended up on the bad person's spaceship, we got put in a prison cell, then we got rescued and escaped.
Yeah, I mean, see, we were fine to begin with, so...
It was very impressive technologically, for sure. Like, super impressive ride. Those AT-ATs in that really tall room, that was pretty cool.
That was cool. That was a picture that they showed quite a bit in the artist renderings beforehand. That was something that I wanted to see. Actually, I thought the coolest part, honestly, was in the very beginning, before we even boarded, when we were with the stormtroopers. They're so clean and shiny.
Yeah. All right. Well.
But yeah, that I don't really. I guess I don't even know what to say. I don't have a lot of like opinions about it because I don't care for Star Wars. If you I will say this: if you are into Star Wars, you guys are gonna be blown away. It's gonna be amazing. Definitely hardcore do it. If you are like so-so on Star Wars, if you're like I could take it or leave it, do it.
I don't see how you couldn't be impressed by it.
Exactly. If you like are really I hate Star Wars, only if you're looking for something to do. But honestly, Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna say I didn't enjoy it. I'm not gonna say I loved it, but that's because I don't like Star Wars. But yeah, if you are even like so-so on Star Wars, I think do it. You'll be super impressed. If you could only do one of the two rides, Millennium Falcon or Rise of the Resistance, what would you pick?
Rise of the Resistance.
I agree. Definitely hardcore Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah. All right. So here's our plan. We're very thirsty. So we're gonna go to one of these restaurants and ask for cups of water, and then we're going on with our day.
So long.
So long.